Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Australian Technology Park here in Sydney. Over here with my good man PDG. What an intense game that one was. And let's take some time maybe to break it down a bit because so much happened in such a short amount of time and such a close finish as well.
Yeah, I mean, both teams went through serious patches of momentum where at one point both teams looked like they were about to win the game, or Avant-Garde coming back into the game from a very precarious situation they were in, both I guess mentally and monetarily in terms of the equipment they were able to buy or not buy. But I do want to focus a little bit on the composure of Immunity and what the inclusion of Sniper actually means to their roster. For those of you who don't know, Sniper was part of the championship Vox Eminor team for, he has been overseas with them. He does have that experience, and as does Yaman. So those two players having international experience was crucial. I mean, in just closing out the game, EMAG did win the 2v1 at the end of the game to secure the win. So, an ex-national champion making those sort of plays is what we expect from Immunity.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, I do feel as though that Sniper just brought that extra bit of composure. When they were 5-0 down, Sniper made plays. Yep. He was the one who dragged them kicking and screaming back into the game at the very start. That allowed Immunity to get some momentum back and, a strong showing from Yaman as well. So Immunity have a lot to look forward to on the next map, which is going to be Cache again.
Absolutely. So, I mean, and let's talk about Avant-Garde. We wanted to sort of delve into them a little bit before. Ex-regulators coming first last season. Roster changes, though. A lot of changes for this team. Let's talk about how they're shaping up now.
Well, it's no secret that I wasn't a huge fan of Avant-Garde's roster changes at the end of last season. They went from a 6th seed going into the finals. They actually took it all out. So regulators won the last season of CGP. And then they made 2 questionable roster changes, one being Sicko and one being Tonks. And so I feel as though those roster changes with those players actually coming into this national event and bottoming, no one expected Justillo to get 30-plus frags. He was absolutely incredible, and he deserves full credit as being the leader of that team for getting all those kills. But you saw Tonks there struggling a little bit with the AWP, not really connecting with the kills that he should have. And that's been my thing with him. That's been my issue the whole time with that roster change. So he needs to sort of, I think he definitely can play. And it was him legging a couple of people.
Yep.
So he did make the shot. It was just not the right angle. He doesn't have that 70 ping window to aim wherever he likes and just get that instant kill with the AWP. So if he focuses down on it and he actually connects with the shots, I think him and Sicko need to lift their game. And because as we saw with Immunity, the scoreboard was spread completely evenly across. Yeah. And whereas Avant let too heavily on Astillo, I think.
Well, imagine if Astillo wasn't being relied on to carry them, or even if he did sort of score at that rate, but the rest of his teammates were able to back him up. I mean, this is all speculation, of course, but Cache is going to be our second map here, and it's one that's actually, we're definitely going to be looking at intently. Who are you expecting to have the advantage on this one? Who likes to play on this one?
Look, to be completely honest, I think it will depend on just who gets hot. I think that Cache is a newer map. It's got a number of different opportunities for the Ts. Again, it's well balanced across the map. So I do feel as though Ts have an equal opportunity as CTs to build up those rounds and build up a bit of momentum, as we saw with the Cache game with Vox versus Climax. The momentum's shifted a few times, and even though Climax weren't able to quite close out a lot of those rounds, they still put a lot of pressure on Vox, both on T side and on CT side. So if you're Avant-Garde and you're down one map, but it's so narrow and you had the momentum, I just think it's a couple of little plays, and that will, get them right back in it.
We're looking to see as well how both teams choose to sort of take advantage of the AWPing opportunities. We know Snakewell was quite large on this map, really bringing a few rounds back. When guys like Azza as well, his holds on towards that A side as well were just spectacular and really helped the Vox Eminor guys bring that one out. But we're going to jump into game. We're going to be pretty much coming out with it fairly soon, of course. Avant-Garde have to bring this one back, otherwise they are going to fall away. This is their shot at a finals berth. They're going to win the next 2 maps on the run, should I say. We're going to jump straight into the knife round. Now, if you're Avant-Garde trying to bring it back, what side are you wanting to start on?
I mean, personally, I would start on CT, just because it gives you the opportunity to dictate terms a little bit more and just control the flow of the map and sort of control the money. So I think a CT side would be perfect for Avant, especially Justillo, who had such a strong showing with that M4. He made a lot of silenced M4 kills. His positioning was great, so hopefully he's able to cash in on that. But Immunity, putting the acid on them in the knife, picking up 3, 4, and it will all be there. That's as quick as it gets in a knife round. And Immunity get their pick of the bunch. As I said, I think they will go CT, and they have chosen the CT side.
Okay, so immunity with the knife round win. Going to be putting Avant Garde on the terrorist side to start with. And I guess, the onus is definitely on them. A bit of pressure, surely. Still, I'm sure in the break you've been running the troops a little bit, saying, "Come on, guys, this is crucial." I mean, Avant Garde seeded quite nicely. Actually, went 5-2 in the normal season. 10 maps for against. So that's a pretty good result. Actually, you've seeded higher than I am, and obviously the only teams that Avant Garde lost to were Vox and, interestingly enough, I am. So I am they might have their measure, but this is the land stage and a lot can change.
Absolutely. I think that the pistol round is obviously important for both teams. Pistol rounds, if you win both pistols, that's pretty much +6 in terms of your round advantage. But this pistol round means way more to Avant Garde in terms of getting their mentality back, getting their mindset back, and they can actually win the game. I think, as I spoke about before, Vox have that winner mentality, and I think it's what you need to learn to do, is learn to win.
Okay, so Avant Garde looking towards A side right now. And James and Imagine already trying to push up their Tonks at boost. Just throwing a late smoke here, and they coming straight towards Kid. PZ Kid, should I say. Payback wants to push out here. Imagine, no, surely something is up. And there we go. Sicko dueling it out with James. Does manage to get the better of him now. Smoke going down over that A side. Imagine trying to push up, trying to get an interesting position. Quad box, he will pick one up. Nice headshot. But Sicko replying back onto him as well. Unity now set the cat amongst the pigeons, surely. Sicko going to get heavily tagged up by that nade. Very heavily tagged up, if I'm honest. And Yam now going to try and push up, looking over towards the quad boxes, not seeing him. Silo is behind red box as well. And Sicko just going to poke out the corner. Will avoid the shot coming in from Yam, but now Yam's going to have to push up. Whoa, 1B. Thanks for coming, son. He still hits the deck, and Ricky is going to pick one up as well. Payback takes down Yam, though, in response. Ricky going to push straight into him. Here, bomb is down. That is not what Immunity would have liked. Their bomb planted, of course, and Payback. The nice little clutch to win that one out.
Yeah, Ricky actually, in my opinion, was one of the strongest players coming into this national event in terms of his level of play. He got significantly less kills than his teammates last map. I'm not exactly sure what's going with him today. He's missing a lot of shots that he would normally hit. So there are just a number of players on an individual level that are out, deciding the outcome of the game.
Okay, now Payback. Gibby's made a boost there as he heads towards that mid connector and straight through the warehouse. Smoke does go up. Bit of Immunity here, pretty much positioned towards B quite heavily. One at A, they're just waiting for the push. It's a plenty of smoke here, and Sniper just trying to look straight through here, wishing he had X-ray vision right now, but this is Lamb. Sorry, mate. And Avant Garde spreading through mid, maybe considering that B push yet against Sniper, just holding here in warehouse. And at the B side, Immunity just waiting anticipation here. You can see the again Sicko opting for the P90 in the anti-eco. Hoping to put that to good use.
Yeah, look, it looks as though PZ Kid's going to try and find his way into B, and Immunity doing a great job here of actually not giving away any of their positions to B. They've walked all the way into the bomb site, and they're trying to funnel them into B. Unfortunately, I think Avant Garde have clued onto this fact. PZ Kid on the lam right now, so Avant Garde making a good read early, and that'll do a huge amount for their confidence, because remember, on Mirage, they were unable to get through these eco rounds without losing significant amounts of weaponry and taking significant hits to their money. This is a much better eco. They flushed out the different spots they needed to. They covered all their corners, got an easy plant, and now look to defend the site with guns up, and they should save all of their Galils and guns, really.
Very clever push out of A-Long there. I don't think Immunity was ready for that at all. And now, see, Immunity essentially untouched after the push. Avant Garde getting chunked down a little bit there. Sniper hits the deck first, though. PZ Kid low on health there as he just kills the fence through towards that B side. So trying to catch anyone on the rotate here. There is someone at top of B. Will he poke the window there? Bomb will go down fairly quickly. Ooh, Ricky will take that gun off PZ Kid there. But generally speaking, pretty solid round for Avant Garde there. It was a very clever maneuver as they went towards that A side. Immunity absolutely none the wiser until the bomb went down. Absolutely.
But the key thing there, again, is PZ Kid, after seeing the guy at top, knowing he was on 10 HP, he elected to take on that gun battle with Rika, who was up the top. He lost his Galil, and now all of a sudden, Immunity have a Scout and a Galil to play with this round, as well as those 3 pistols. So even though the numbers advantage was great for Avant there, these little sort of mistakes, you don't think about them at the start of the game, but they can really add up towards the end.
Okay, Sniper was actually pushing into mid, looking out towards the CT con there.
And that's exactly what I was talking about, losing that Galil. PZ Kid gave it away last round, and Rico makes him pay.
Absolutely, did he ever. And PZ Kid going down yet again. He did only have the pistol in hand, but nonetheless, that's small goal for Ricky. Unity now with that extra kill. Sicko trying to get a bit cheeky with the P90 across the gap there. Tonks is also working his way over. A side being held by, well, at least watched by Payback at this stage. No one in long A, so it's just him at the moment. There we go. Still pushing on Yam. Very nicely, Yam. Actually had no answer to that push at all. Shot still coming across there. Still, James is going to catch on him with a pistol there. Imagine sitting on that A side. Avant Garde surely want to push on this one now. Payback coming out the door first as well. Shots across from James. Not quite good enough there, and a Payback will pick him up. Ricky on the rotate here coming through Log. Togs straight into the face of Imagine. That's what he needs. Oh! Togs unable to drag that gun down. And this is what you mentioned before. He's struggling. They're legging a lot of people now, and Payback is in a 1v2. Bomb isn't down. He does have it in his hands, so he's going to make a very quick rotate towards B and should easily have the time to plant it down. If he doesn't get picked on the cross here, that's the only concern. Payback just having to check every corner here. Very wary of where Immunity may be set up. But it was a good time to make the rotate here. He should be able to get this bomb down.
Yeah, it was at the end of the day, I think Payback should pretty easily win this 2v1 because he doesn't actually, the no CTs have a kit. So if they're going to win, they're going to take a lot of time to get into the bomb site and even try and find out where Payback is. So as long as he doesn't actually run at him, it should be very difficult for Immunity to win this round, but they've already made their way there. So he's just coming in now. Oh my goodness, he's absolutely missed that one. PZ Kid will go down. Sniper goes massive. He will get the defuse. And, I mean, I hate to say I told you so, but Ricky picked up 3 kills and got an assist on the last guy. And that was purely because PZ Kid threw away his Galil at the end of the second round. And those are the sort of mistakes where if you want to win a national championship, if you want to take it all the way, those are the kind of mistakes you just can't make.
And just as Avant Garde were hoping to build up ahead of Steam, Immunity have stopped them in their tracks. The buy is up now for Immunity, and Enrique does have that AWP in his hands. Avant Garde forced onto an eco here as well, so this is just not good at all. Avant Garde really wants to try and get a bit of a run of things here. Still do have the chance to bring it back. Looking over towards Boost as Ricky, the smoke goes up heavily towards mid-shot. Through the smoke, not connecting, but Ricky had the right idea. Again, not able to get onto Payback. Siko smokes everywhere here. Avant Garde really trying to make an impression with his entry. Sitting inside vents room there. Yam's going to pick up his silo. Payback on towards Yam. Oh, Sniper and Ricky combining very nicely there. Siko and PZ Kid go down, and it's a 4v2. Pistol. Avant Garde only able to take down Yam during that round. The rest of Immunity essentially untouched.
And not to harp on the fact, but nothing to do with the Galil itself. But they were on top of Ricky last game. Allowing him to make that play, getting those 3 kills, winning his team that round. You don't want to put confidence in the with someone with like capabilities of Ricky with the AWP. You don't want him to get confident. You want to stay on top the whole game, and who knows what sort of damage that he'll go on to do potentially now.
Well, he's looking for the wall bang there. Not able to connect. Coming close, though. And he smokes in towards mid as we can see. Avant Garde really valuing that as a pivot point for them as they try and decide which bomb site they are going to be going for. But Avant Garde look like choosing the A site here. Imagine is sitting there. We do have one in A long for Immunity as well. He's going to be sitting up on top of that box.
Ricky just spotted one crossing over, so that's a great start for the round, and he should be able to pick up this kill as if the guy peeks slightly before the smoke. The smokes are good, and they're going to try and find their way into this A bomb site. Avant Garde, the smokes and flashes come all the way in, and Ricky manages to reposition himself at the back of triple boxes there and pick up a kill. He's firing through the smoke. He's doing a lot of damage there to the T's and just bottlenecking them into that one smoke. Ooh. And that's a huge flick shot from Ricky. This is the sort of confidence that he usually plays with, and this is the kind of damage that he can do as he locks down that A-bomb site and allows Team Immunity to move back towards and completely shut them down.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Ricky holding now that red container there. PZ Kid will pick up. Imagine here, a chance here for Ricky, though, to make it happen. And, of course, time runs out. Avant Garde just unable to really make things happen there. Ricky 10-1-1. He is rich, and Immunity actually going for a double AWP here as well.
Yeah, this second AWP coming out onto Yaman. That was something that I thought that they would actually pick up on Mirage, but elected not to because they wanted to keep control of their money. AWP spending $4,750 with only getting $100 per kill on the retake. So it's very hard to keep your money going if you're multiple AWPing, but I do like this move from Immunity. It says, we're going to play on our terms, and we're going to dictate, as Yaman absolutely, proves himself right by picking up the first kill around.
Sniper doubled down there as well with the Molotov. Good flick across towards the head of Tongs. We'll take him out, and that was a very, very clean round for Immunity here. And Avant Garde with a bit of money in the pocket here, but I mean, it's essentially going to be now whenever they need to win around here. Otherwise, Immunity are just going to start to walk away with it. Immunity did want the CT side, and you can really see Ricky thriving, Yam even adding one to his tally in that round as well.
Yeah, this is going to be all on Payback here to try and open it up for his team. Can he get this aggressive B pick? He's got the AWP. He's going to go straight into position, and Immunity won't give him anything at the start, which is extremely smart. It's all up to Immunity now to play the numbers, and like they did in the Mirage, make Avant come to them.
Okay, Avant Payback with the AWP as per usual. Still sitting around mid at the moment. Smoke coming up and obscuring their view of James would be Ricky picks up PZ Kid there. Imagine with the molly considering throwing it towards A. James onto his Silo as well. That was over at mid now. And Immunity controlling mid nicely. Got 3 players up there as well. Molly just in front of Payback there as his mate just has to stand still. Tonks is in a position here. He's got to have to push on. Here he comes. Grenades out towards him as well. Getting chunked down to 45. He has to jump on the box to avoid the molly. He is getting a little bit crispy up in there right now. Immunity anticipating the push here. Imagine just rotating around towards the back of the box, and Sniper might actually come up for this one. Yeah, he's going to be watching that beam. Immunity got this canvas out quite nicely there. Tonks was in a good spot there, but Ricky manages to duck away just in time. Nate to follow as well. This is going to hurt if Ricky can set up properly here. And Imagine is watching the other side as well. Avant Garde struggling. Sicko will pick up James there, managing to get that 1v1 nicely. He got no flick at all there. Sicko manages to get that one. Imagine double though. He is going to be waiting for Payback to make the push. Bomb is down on the A side. 1 left for Avant Garde. Payback's got to make this happen. It is now on ever. Looking towards Truck. Can he make the shot? No, yeah, too good. Headshot with a CZ as well. Just for a bit of class, and it's a 5-2 scoreline. Yeah,
I mean, even though Ricky didn't make the AWP shots, and he is missing a lot of AWP shots at the moment, which is a problem for him, he is putting a lot of pressure. Avant Garde are actually too scared to push at that AWP, not knowing if it is, I saw the right-hand one or Riot, so I will change the CL right-hand one to make the people happy. But yeah, Ricky not hitting those AWP shots, but putting enough pressure on their team to actually force them back and to do things they don't want to do. But mid-split here, they will run right at Ricky to try and take this AWP away from him. And he is playing particularly aggressively. Misses a shot there, but potentially still pick up some kills.
They're not pushing onto it all. They thought they might. They backed away. James is going to pick that one up. Ricky takes down Tonks with a headshot. Ricky going to make it a double with a pistol because he really doesn't give any cares right now. He's doing very, very nice. That's 2 for him in that round. Avant Garde looked like they were going to filter down mid, put pressure on Ricky with the AWP and sort of force him to make a mistake, but they just let him come out and pick away.
I don't think I'd ever hear myself say this, but Ricky needs to drop the AWP. His rifles and his pistols have been fantastic so far, and every time he's made a mistake, it's been with that AWP, not connecting on a shot that he should have. So I'm not sure that Yaman shouldn't take over and just play one AWP for them at the moment.
Ricky taking up Yaman's position from last round. He'll be watching long speed at the moment. Smoke through mid and Astillo actually pushing straight up. So this time he was looking, I think, for Ricky. Didn't quite find him, but still gained position there up in mid for Avant Garde. They do have control of mid, but they've got to be careful not to be surrounded here if they try and work their way in. Yam looking towards boost there. Astillo dropping the bomb just in case. And that's where they're going to make their stand. Avant Garde over on the other side there. Yam looking for the pick. Can he make it? Ooh, it's a narrow miss there. And going to give Tonks the chance to have a crack with Tonks. Just gets shut down pretty easily there, Yam.
There's no way he should have repicked that line. After the AWP bullet whizzed past his head, he should have just dropped off the boxes and retreated. But, you know, the pressure's coming on from Unity from all angles here.
Some unjustified, cocky play perhaps from Tonks now. Payback wants to push in here as well. You can see James is going to gun down PZ Kid though. Payback thinking twice about it. Going to pick up the bomb and maybe make a different push here. He's trying to get the garage, but Sniper was waiting for him there with the headshot. Oh, watch that. It's your teammate Sicko now, last man standing. Long A's. He's going to push out into mid. Oh, nice gunning down there on Sniper. Can he get the spray? Onto James. He can, but Ricky will manage to shut him down ultimately. Ricky, the gatekeeper at least, and he's definitely keeping Avant away from those crucial rounds now. 7 versus 2.
Yeah, look, Avant is letting Immunity dictate terms. Their Immunity are having too much map control. That round, Immunity took aggressive A storage by smoking it off. They knew an A push was coming, so they smoked it off. They played back behind the smoke and then just picked them apart as they were trying to come in the bomb site. Avant are yet to try anything actually quick. It's all been slow, split, strap-based, and once again, I don't feel as though Avant have had the level of control that they would have liked after the pistol round.
Yaman opening up the account here on towards Sicko. We're still trying to work in mid, but Yam sent him packing as well with the AWP. Very comfortable on that one. It's safe to say, Imagine holding A nicely. And Ricky as well will add to his tally. James with a dak. Can he make good use of it this round? I think he's maybe just trying to redecorate the outside of that A side. Tonks will gun down on towards Yaman. Got a big job ahead of him. Those 4 plays to get down. Nope, not going to happen there. James will pick up a dak kill there. And 8-2, Immunity starting to snowball this lead out.
Yeah, I mean, the money situation for Yaman and Immunity are completely different. I still don't agree with Yaman pushing that mid-cob with the AWP being on low HP, maybe giving a chance for the T to win that round. But at the same time, if you look at their money and the position in the game they're in, an aggressive play like that doesn't cost you so much compared to if you're up against in terms of your money.
Absolutely. Ricky looking mid again. You can see Sniper again splitting out to A. It's splitting nicely. Immunity here is Avant Garde looking like they want to work on B this time. Sicko is the man Going to be trying to help the entrance come in. Avant Garde really have to push this right now. Tonk's going to get flashed up. He's going to stop. 2 players getting flashed and essentially getting halted here. No Molotov being thrown. I do hear a bit of crispiness in the background. Now, Yam quite low on the bomb side. Avant Garde pushing in with 5 here. Yam having to push right away. Sniper picks one up on the bomb side there. Payback takes out Sniper as well with their headshot. Oh, yeah. Thanks for coming, mate. He still hits the deck. Can he make it 2? No. Payback will send him packing now. Ricky coming up towards the top of B. Needs a clever shot onto the side. Bomb does go down. Nade thrown out as well. Avant Garde expecting some sort of shenanigans from that angle. Payback and PZ Kid is the one looking towards Vents. Now Molly coming out from James. He picks it up as well with a dac kill at close range. Payback sitting on the side. He's got to be worried right now. Tonks has picked up Ricky though, but Imagine will deal with him verily. Payback last man standing. No, Imagine too good as he does push out, and it will be a defuse. Closest Avant Garde have been to winning a round in quite some time, but still not quite enough.
Yeah, I love the level of aggression there from Avant Garde earlier. They took control of the B side, they got the opening pick, and then moved their way into the bomber side. I just don't feel as though they can beat Immunity in like a long, stretched out game of chess at the moment. They need to take advantage of Ustillo, who's been playing at a really high level, and players like Sicko and Payback getting those first kills. They're not capitalizing on it, and now you can see with the money and such a huge swing to Immunity, they've got 2 orbs and a dac. So it's even than ever on Avant Garde to actually make a pick and use their bombs. Oh, such a sharp shot there, but again, Ustillo does make that kill. So the trade there, not all that bad for Avant Garde. But I just don't feel as though, if you look at the positions they're in at the moment on the map, they've got no B control. And you can see Sniper making his way back around. And this was a key factor in all of the last game on Mirage, who could get the flanks. Sniper's communicated to his team. They do know they're coming in. And it's just going to be a slaughterhouse as they run into the bomb side. Yaman, absolutely massive.
Oh, there it is.
Yaman is just going bonkers. He doesn't get the 4th one, but Jesus, Yaman putting on a display with that AWP. And this is vintage Yaman. This is what LAN is all about. And he's very excited to get those kills. Kills that he usually misses online, complains constantly about the AWP, and now we're starting to see why.
Wow, yeah, man, big round from him and Avant Garde back with their tail between their legs, forced onto the pistol. Stillo, despite his performance last game, was good. Now I think he's maybe 3-11 or 3-12, so not a big one for him. All the flash, just going to obscure Yam's view of the push here. It's got to be a strong beat push here. Molly coming out though. We'll try from Yaman. Can he get one? Yes, he picks up Payback there. Surely the Molly's going to do some work for him as well. Ricky will pick up Tonks there. Yaman sitting back on the bomb side. CZ in hand. Will he make the shot? Ricky though is definitely going to add to his tally. Yam picks one up with the pistol as well. And Avant Garde. Am I doing that thing where I get excited and pistol round again? I love this game so much.
Well, I mean, in old version of CS, getting excited about ecos wasn't a thing, but in the days where every gun can get you a headshot from any position, the ecos are being more and more closely contested each time you watch the game.
See some heads turn in the crowd thinking, is this guy for real or is he on something? No, it's exciting. What can I say? Nonetheless, that was pretty harsh eco there for Avant Garde and pretty well shut down. James has had that. He's actually rebought that dac. He's had it in his hands for quite some time.
Yeah, and look, it's going to be all on Payback here to try and get the first kill of the round and force Immunity to make a bad rotation. At the moment, Immunity, as we saw last round, even though Yaman went huge with the AWP, it was all about Sniper's push to get in position. But Payback missing a shot there, and once again, if you look at the map, Immunity have control of both A and B, and Avant are stuck in a very small area of the map where you can't actually plant the bomb. So tactically, Immunity are making all the right reads at the moment. And Yaman goes absolutely massive, takes down Sicko, and Payback returns. But there's a lot of way to go. 2 HP and 11 HP respectively. The kills need to be massive. Emag already on point. And the hero from Mirage is going to have to pull out again, but he doesn't.
There you go, these shouts coming out from Avant Garde there as well. I mean, Immunity, should I say, what do you do now as Avant Garde? I mean, the half's almost over. You've got to try and pull something out here. It's looking pretty grim for them. Yeah,
they don't even have they lost control of their money a long time ago, and I really felt as though they should have slipped an extra eco in there to get more grenades and, I guess a better, more even spread of equipment across the players. Once the AWPer goes down, or once the caller goes down for Avant, there's very little for them to do, but they do appear as though they're going to split onto A, so this is something that they should have probably tried a while ago, but at a much quicker pace. They're too slow in making those reads, and Immunity are punishing them for it.
All right, Chong's going to trade his Famicine for that AK. Ustillo still serving in death now. We can see the push into the long A is coming out there. Avant Garde sitting tight here. Molly is coming up. They can get around that one still. Yam still looking towards Minnow. James is on red box. He'll be the first to receive this push. There we go. Sicko hits the deck. That is one down. Imagine going to make it 2. Tonks goes down as well. James on towards Payback. Payback picked up Emag there, but still A site is well and truly held by Immunity. Avant Garde with one player left, and well, his feet are burning pretty hard right now. Yam, in typical style, will pick up that kill. They're making it 13-12 2, and this is an absolutely dominant performance from Immunity.
Yeah, we saw the ebb and flow of the map control game on Mirage, where both sides did an excellent job of portioning off the map, controlling the map, getting, I guess, for lack of a better word, vision of an intelligence as to where their opponents were. But this game, it was all Immunity. It was all of them making the first plays. It was all of them making the pushes and getting all that info. And from there on in, it was like shooting fish in a barrel because they knew where they were going to hit every time they went there. But the pistol round can change everything here for Avant Garde.
All right, well, this is where they need to start putting those rounds back on. It's only 3 rounds from victory if you're Team Immunity now. A lot of decoys being thrown around the map here, and you can see that Yam is going to pick up that first kill. Scrolling through the plays here, we can see a lot of Avant Garde are really just getting chunked down. Immunity are just trading into them so well right now. Hardly taking any damage. Emag finally goes down now. Yam's going to be working over towards A there. He's not the only one. Takes a couple shots, though, so he's made. They are trying to get across. I think they should be okay. Avant forced a long way back. Nice shot out there from Truck Sicker. We'll pick that one up there. He's going to have to come forward. Sniper takes down his Stillo. Didn't quite see that one, but Shaw was picking shots across as well. Sicker trying to make it happen. He doesn't quite connect with those, and he is the last man standing. And this is really Avant Garde's game to... they've got to pick it up here. This is such an important round now. Bomb being planted, so Sicker with it all to do. Looking up towards A Legend. James will send him packing. Avant Garde being absolutely crushed here, and an Immunity just rolling forward with impunity.
That shot from James was absolutely absurd. He was falling off the rafter and just instantly headshot him. So CSGO paying James a favor for turning up to a LAN event, which is fantastic. But again, the pistol round, Avant Garde just didn't have the control, and I keep focusing on it because as a caller and as a strategist, you want to have as much opportunity to sort of put pressure on different parts of the map. And Avant Garde are just, I guess, too one-dimensional at the moment. Immunity with the map control, and they're making it look easier than it seems because they've got so much control of the map.
Yeah, Avant Garde really being herded into corners by Immunity, and they're just waiting for him to come out like lambs to the slaughter. Tonks now going to flash out towards that A side. He is trying to push him towards... Ooh, yeah, we'll pick him up with a headshot there. Still a chance he's going to jump up onto that A ledge and see if anyone's going to come up behind him here. Bomb is still being held. Tonks watches that balcony. He's going to try and nade out on towards that side. They definitely want the entrance here, and Tonks just had to get himself away. Emag will pick up payback. PZ Kid sitting back on the side. Some shots already ringing out from him as well. A 4v3 situation. Is still very nearly gets taken out there. He just has to jump across the opening. He's going to back right up on that B side, but will it be enough here? That was a flash behind him. Emag going to try and get the shot too sharp, and a lot of health there as well for him still. The Galil, should I say, doing all the work, and match point comes up here, and Avant Garde scrabbling to try and buy up as much as they possibly can. It's now or never.
Yeah, I mean, if you just have a look at the score, but obviously Immunity started off on the advantageous side, so they did get a roll on, but just not enough damage done across the board from Avant Garde. I mean, they lost that control, and then they lost the opportunity to be sharp.
That's right, and you're still really not having a game like you did last time. 3-16, I think, just has struggled all the way through. Tonks has picked up the scout here. Let's see if he can get let's see if he can finish in style at the very least. I think everyone watching Immunity probably expecting them to take this one out there, and that's it. Yam will open up the account. Stilo will go down. Tonks is sitting back with the scout on that A side. He's not alone, but Immunity are surging through mid here. The alacrity, looking for another opening to make. James is going to get the smoke down here.
But even though the game's completely sort of beyond that at the moment, you can see that by looking at the board, Immunity actually has control of the entire map. You've got Imagine watching the backs, and you've got a number of players moving towards B. And all that means is they can move through the map with a level of confidence that Avant Garde couldn't. Avant Garde were having to check too many places, and therefore the aim, it appears, when you know where someone is, obviously, you can pre-fire them. And when you have a good idea of where they are on the map, it's going to be a lot easier to make shots because you're always expecting to face an enemy. But interestingly enough, we got a 2v2 here. It won't matter. Immunity close it out, and that's how you do it. That's how the pros do it.
And that's exactly what they just said then as well. Avant Garde, safe to say, it was a big struggle. The only 2 rounds they got for the game. Well, they won off the pistol round, of course, and then they sort of made that mistake. And we're all thinking about that Galil that went over to Ricky as well. And from there, it was just downhill.
And I guess the difference is when you try and play the game from such a high level. I mean, Immunity, a team that aspire to go overseas and compete with, you know, the likes of Nip and Fnatic and Titan and those sort of teams. They're, because of the international experience that Yaman and Sniper have, I think that's the fundamental difference between the teams. The attitude taken into the game is a winner's mentality. And those sort of little mistakes are capitalized on so heavily by a team like Immunity or Vox that do have that experience. It's just a little bit lacking in, I guess, Climax and Avant Garde. They just got shown up a little bit by the depth of experience of Immunity and Vox Seminole, respectively.
Well, after that game, things stand as such. Avant Garde obviously dropping down. They will play against Climax Crew in the third place match, but probably the one we're looking forward to later on in the day, of course, is going to be Vox Seminole versus Team Immunity. Two teams, no stranger to going head-to-head.
Well, this is the matchup everyone was waiting for. Sniper versus his old team, Vox Seminole. There will be hatred, there will be blood, there will be extremely large amount of banter. It is a game not to be missed by absolutely anybody. So I think if you're keen on seeing some high-quality CS, stick around for the grand final.
Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Uber Shouts, of course, here with my man PDP. We're going to be back with a post-game interview right after this, so don't go too far. We'll be back.